Blushing in the pale moonlight, come alive in the dead of night. Room lost when again something new to sink my teeth into.
Hello, and thank you for choosing Rooster Jones. This is Rooster Jones, and we have today Virtual Nobodies. And don't really know much about them, but we're going to find out today about them. And I am having Jeremy Gray coming on right now.
Can you
Jeremiah,
hear see us?
Hold on, here we go.
Hello?
Oh, hey,
can you hear me?
yeah, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
Wonderful, man. Yeah, I can. Wow. Well, great to have you on the Rooster Show, man. Both of
Oh,
you
yeah,
guys.
thank you.
Tell me who you are. I'm Rooster Jones, and so who are you? We'll start with the bearded gentleman with the wonderful smile.
What's up, man?
Sorry, you have a wonderful smile too, buddy. That came out a little weird, so sorry.
You're good, man. I'm Jeremiah Gray, and
I'm Xavier Valdez.
Here and Joe, pleasure to meet you both.
you too, man. Thank you for having us on.
Hey, no problem. Tell me about you guys. How long you been around?
Well, we live in Southern California. We're in Ventura County area, and we've both been
Did you
making
say
music.
Ventura County, like by Ojai and Santa Paula?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah, I
that's
have
area.
grandparents out in
Oh,
in
nice,
Santa
nice.
Paula. So yeah,
Right
he runs a Baptist church up on one of the
shit.
mountains by Orange.
Thomas
Church.
the Thomas Aquinas is that the one?
It sounds familiar, actually.
It's a college. I
His
don't know.
name's Bob Horton, yeah, but
Oh,
they've
okay.
lived up there their whole lives. So, anyways, enough about me. So tell me, okay, yeah, you guys from
So
Ventura County.
yeah, so before we started collaborating, Jeremiah was doing his solo thing. I was doing my solo thing, and we were kind of just meeting at times, having drinks, jamming, talking about certain ideas. And then eventually we decided to collaborate on a song called Just So You Know, which is actually our first single that we released. And, we didn't really put any promotion behind it, and it ended up getting a lot of traction. So we were just kind of like,
Mm.
this is definitely a sound, and
Yeah,
we
definitely a sound.
we
Yeah,
wanted to keep chasing the sound.
it's a unique sound. Actually, it kind of reminds me of like several different bands all at once, like almost like an Elvis Costello
Cool.
meets Jesus Mary Chain
Yeah, yeah.
type of vibe,
Yeah.
kind of like yeah, Lou Reed and all that kind of good stuff. It's kind of a unique sound. So I mean, what made you go that route with that type of music?
Um, you know, it's interesting because Jeremiah is really complex with his chords and his structure.
Overcomplicated.
You're one of those.
I'm
Okay.
One of those.
I'm very boring in a sense where like it's just pretty linear with me. I don't
Yeah.
know how to do any of the stuff that he does. So for some reason, the conflict really works with each other. So like we figure that because we both on Spotify, it has this like your connect with somebody, see what your musical taste is. Our
Yeah.
percentage is at a 93%. I just checked today. It's funny.
Okay.
So we both really like Moody, and we both really like, kind of this bigger sonic space to fill. And so it works
Yeah.
really well. We
Yeah, that's
decided
brilliant.
yeah.
So you've been playing a long time, Jeremiah? Yeah, you mainly, yeah, you both are guitarists, right? And, but what
Yeah,
else do you do?
yeah, we kind of trade off. My whole family's into music. I was kind of the last one to get into it. I
Okay.
joined choir at 18, and that kind of got me into that road. And then I was listening to Cream, Jack Bruce, Ginger Baker, Eric Clapton, those guys, and
Oh, hell yeah.
that's where I decided to pick up the bass. So kind of yeah, so I got into singing and then playing an instrument there. We're both actually bass players
Yeah.
and
Me too.
shitty guitar players. So
I have a bass. Instrument I learned was bass, so
Yeah.
it's the best
I
one.
understand.
When you learn bass, it's perfect. I mean, that blend of melody and groove, like
Yeah,
I don't know.
well, yeah,
So
especially since it's best friends with drummers, you know. I mean,
uh,
I mean, you learn how to work with that rhythm, being a bassist, get that feel, It's
yeah.
that's good. That's good.
Yeah, so a lot of our songs we kind of do like rock, paper, scissors to see who's gonna play bass
Yeah.
and who's gonna play guitar because neither of us we both know our way around a guitar. But yeah, man, it's just been a fun process of like you said, I think I went to school for music, so I learned a lot of different techniques and how to
Technical
analyze
stuff
it.
in it.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
can get in the way, so
Yeah.
again, we were both doing solo stuff and working with other people and being bass players. You kind of, again, you sit in the back, and we've both been that person in other bands. So it was kind of fun to both just take our songwriting to the next level. And I mean, X, yeah, what he can do with like, two chords in a song is just make something that's so massive and cool. So we've just found a little system that works. And music's a collaborative thing. It's fun to
It
do on
is.
your own, but if you can do it with friends, like nothing beats that. So
Yeah,
we're just
nothing
riding the
does.
wave.
Do you have other people that you've collaborated with in the past besides you two?
Yeah, I have with a couple producers. I used to be in multiple bands or just like because I got my start in 2014
Okay.
when I took the dive into wanting to make music, and uh I had a band out in LA, and it was a three-piece before the guys told me that I couldn't sing, so we hired a singer. It was really broke my heart.
Uh,
Brutal.
People can be so cruel, you know.
and
Oh,
I was in that band for about 4.5 years, and so I've worked with multiple people, and I've had different collaborative efforts with a lot of that.
right.
So
Send me their
yeah.
Facebook account so I can block them. Just
We're
joking.
glad you're
Just
having us
joking.
on. We just want to talk shit. We've got a list here of people.
Hey, why can't we have this? Oh my goodness. So that's awesome. So uh, Xavier, were you from a musical background?
Not at all.
Not at
Not
all,
at all.
huh?
No.
Self-taught everything.
Yeah. It's
That's
funny.
the way I was.
He works his ass off, man. He
No,
does.
that's good. That's good.
I was just visiting my uncle too in Cancun, and he asked me personally like how I even got started with all this, because he's nobody in my family plays music. Nobody in my family does any of this stuff. This is the
Yeah,
first
your
time.
uncle's pretty fit, by the way.
Yeah, he is, right? He is
I saw that
he's
too.
a
Yeah.
sweetheart. He's such a sweetheart. He was asking me like seriously, and I told him the earliest memory I have is when there's this computer game I used to play called Age of Mythology,
Okay.
and my parents had this recorder, and so I liked the intro music, but I wanted to make it better, so I would hit record and I would sing it the way I thought it could be better, and that's the earliest memory I have. I don't know why I was doing it. I was just doing it, thinking I was going to accomplish whatever. I don't know. I was just that driven as a kid to like
Yeah,
make the sound happen for myself, and
that's
I think
awesome.
that's kind of just stuck with me
Yeah.
since then.
Yeah,
So
it's good. It's good. What are you trying to portray for I mean either one of you with your music, with your lyrics and all that? What do you want to
uh,
say in your band?
I think we've had multiple conversations about this, and we love talking about this, but really it's a lot of it is honesty of who we are as people,
Yeah.
and and the personal experiences, no matter how embarrassing they are to us, it's, you know, it's real stuff. Like um
Give us an
temptation.
example of one song.
So we have this song called Skinwalker.
Okay.
Um and in it Jeremiah sings about lust and desire, and the good and bad side of you,
Yeah.
and giving into those desires. Um and one of the chorus lyrics is, he sings, in my dreams, I fly higher than my shame, you know, which is true. Like in our dreams,
Okay.
we kind of get away
Yeah.
from all of that. So it's
Wow. Deep lyrics.
yeah, I mean
Good thing I brought my boots.
There,
So deep, I'm stepping in it.
there you go. Yeah, man. I think even just the name Virtual Nobodies, it's
Yeah,
there's
tell me about that. How did that come about?
I just think, I mean, like anybody who makes anything can attest to, it's like as you get older, you know, you when you're creating something, there's an element of like wanting to quantify it, like how
Yeah.
many Instagram followers do you have? How many Spotify listeners? How many people listen to your radio? How many like, oh, and is this, and if you can kind of validate it, then people will take it seriously. And
Mhm.
so I think the name is just kind of you know, and that's valid, but that really narrows the field of success. And I wouldn't say people who have those numbers are necessarily always deserving. So I think there's a mass out there.
Mhm.
We do have people who, you know, are kind of that impedes their creativity. And so the idea of virtual nobodies, especially in the virtual age, I mean, there's a lot of different ways you could take it, but yeah, is just singing from that place that you're a bit ashamed of. It's singing to, you know, realizing there's just a mass of people out there who really don't feel probably validated or affirmed to make things, because it is
Mm.
hard. It's hard to get recognition. It's hard to put
It
industry
is.
together. Even when we became a team, things got easier,
Exactly.
but you know, and so that bums me out. I think there's a lot of great creatives out there who aren't who don't have any wind in their sails or anybody kind of behind them, the sun at their back pushing them.
That's what this show's about, buddy. That's what I
Yeah,
do.
yeah. When you
You
hit us
know,
up, man, I was like, I think
shoot.
this guy gets it. I think we're
yeah,
This last band I just did yesterday, 4 months they've been around. You know, I mean, goodness.
yeah.
And I'm like, cool. You know,
Can you
so it's
can
part of
you tell
their
us
the legacy of that particular band.
tell
It's
us a
good to
bit
be a
about your
part of it. What?
yeah, tell us a bit about your show, man. Like
Well,
just a
it
bit of the
it
history and yeah, the
yeah
inspiration.
yeah it started during COVID. Honestly, I broke my ankle. I was framing houses for like a long time, 15 years, and got a couple hundred houses under my belt. And I mean, I love framing. And I fell 10 feet and broke the ball of my right ankle in half and another little piece. So I started, I needed to do something while I was on my ass. So I started the Roosta show and
Mhm.
was on a show called rockmetaltalk.com, which was an online radio station, but he got rid of everybody, all the DJs. There was like 6 DJs or more. He got rid of everybody, kept himself, and the whole website's for himself now. And so I went on my own, just
Huh.
started doing what I do, and now I got
Nice.
like 1,000 bands or so under my belt that I know I have a lot everywhere, Russia, Turkey, all kinds of places.
Oh
So,
yeah.
and I'm
Super
stoked
cool.
about it. Mexico, I have tons of bands there too. I just have them all over the place, and it makes me happy to be able to help artists that are just getting started and to let those that are old school, get those involved. Like I have the Queers next week, Tuesday, the punk rock band, the Queers. And
Nice.
so, I mean, it's just like there's tons of really cool bands that are participating with it. I have Keith Morris, Black Flag, that wants to be a part of it
Oh yeah.
after he gets done doing his tours with Off and Circle Jerks. So it's mainly doing underground music, yeah, and like punk, industrial, alternative, and stuff like that. And then bands that are unique like yourself. So
Appreciate you.
there you go.
Right on, man.
Yeah, that's a little bit about me. So tell me, who does all the writing and stuff for your band, or
Uh,
you both collaborate together?
we both definitely collaborate together. It's definitely 50-50.
Do you have an
Um,
album yet?
We're working on one actually.
Okay.
Working on a 9-track album. Kind of trying to upgrade our sound as well. Like, we took this EP and we, sat down and decided what we liked and what we didn't like, and
Yeah.
kind of get a little bit more gritty, a little bit more, and again, as I was speaking earlier, honest with this. We're not going to put anything on this album that we're not, excited about, and it's going to be
Exactly. Yeah.
very, very true to us.
And see, that's good because I hate the people put out stuff that's just crap, nonsense. You're basically
Yeah,
wasting my time.
yeah,
Just speak some truth. I don't care if you're saying something that I'm against,
yeah,
at least speak your ball, have some
yeah,
balls,
yeah.
speak,
Seriously,
speak your
Mm,
truth, speak what's on your heart, and then at least I'll respect you, even if I don't
yeah,
like, I mean, like, I don't know. So some
yeah.
of the old political bands, I don't agree with a lot of them, like the punk rock political bands and stuff, but I don't agree with them all, but I still listen to them. I
yeah,
respect them,
Mm,
because they had balls.
yeah.
So
Fair
and
enough.
that's good that you are have speaking from your heart, speaking from your mind, speaking from experience, and then but sometimes, boy, isn't it hard to get it out of your head, to get it out of your heart, and to get it into a sound?
Oh
You
yeah,
know,
yeah. I've definitely
that's what
struggled with
drives you
that.
crazy, and that's where
Yeah,
I think Jeremiah probably goes nuts in his head because of all the technical crap. See,
yeah.
me and X are like saying like I'm more raw, rough. I know basic chord, I know the chords, I know all the power chords, all that good stuff, but
yeah,
and I know how to play drums, I know how to play bass, I know how to play piano, but it's all basic. Everything's basic. I'm not no fancy dude, you know.
We don't need to be either, which is cool. And like, I mean, a
Yeah,
typical songwriting process for us is X will just send me these demos and he's like, I don't know what you think of this. I think it's trash. And I'll just hear like where it can go. Like, oh, holy shit, dude, this could be the most insane thing,
yeah,
just for him to kind of just reflexively create something that is like melodically, especially. I mean, I think that's what we fall back on, like the ace up our sleeve is just melody. Like, there's always going to be better musicians and, bigger bands, more
well, of
fun,
course.
whatever. But like, if you can find, and that comes down to what you're saying, like when you're speaking your mind, whatever that is, just make it worth people's time. Like,
Yeah,
if somebody's going to come to a show or if they're going to put your song on, we know so many artists who, they kind of just they sing about themselves or it's kind of centered around them. And we
yeah,
just have agreed like we're not that interesting. We should never be on any like merchandise or like we should be pretty out of the way and
yeah.
just find a great melody, dress it up however, so our genre is kind of hard to define. And then
It
lyric,
is. It is.
yeah, and
Yeah,
then
and you
lyric
notice
take
my
it out.
span was pretty out there, Jesus and Mary chain, mamas and papas,
Yeah.
I'm just joking, not mamas and papas. But like the
Yeah, man. I
Velvet
mean, it's
Underground, it's kind of it still has that alternative catch, like Chris Isaac,
yeah, definitely.
still has that almost like he has like a couple different sounds to me. Chris Isaac has like the alternative kind of sound, kind of like Eddie Lennox, and all that good stuff from Eurythmics and all that kind of that kind of alternative sound, but he has a country twang to it, too on
Yeah,
top of it.
definitely,
So it's like kind
definitely.
of weird, like
Yeah,
how so I mean you guys have your own little sound and which is great. So stick with it, man. I was listening to some of your songs and they're wonderful. They're brilliant. So keep up with
thank you,
what you're
thank you.
doing. Stay unique, stay wonderful. And
Mhm.
Jeremiah, you really speak pretty well. Goodness gracious, you so the way you elaborate your words.
Brain doesn't shut the hell up. So I'm almost
So
oh man, thank
do you guys do many shows or
yeah, yeah, we do. So we formed the beginning of last year. So we had that one
okay?
song.
Yeah,
And again, it got some wind in the sails. We went out to the desert. We produced this 6-song EP. So we've been pretty industrious. We played our last show last June, or our first show last June, so exactly a year ago. And we played a ton to the end of the year. Just all around Southern California. And there's some really cool venues here.
Oh yeah,
And
there is.
yeah, I I actually, speaking of foot issues, I tore my Achilles at the beginning of this year. So I'm
Oh,
still recovering from that one. So I kind of put us on hiatus, but you know, in that time we've built a website, we've got merchandise. We work with a fantastic illustrator named Jack Veenstra who designs our logos and all the murals. So we really like we take inspiration from like gorillas and bands that they're not just like photos of the band on train tracks or something like that. Like
yeah,
we want to create kind of a world that exists parallel to the music, and
gotcha.
we've been keeping busy in that way. But as soon as I can walk again and get back on my feet, we got
Sounds
some
like
shit.
you're trying to come about this in a more humble way. It seems like that you
Yeah.
don't want to necessarily stand out, like you said earlier, in pictures and a bunch of pictures of you guys acting like a bunch of rock stars,
Right.
you
Yeah.
know, but that you're trying to relate with the people more than anything, you
Yeah,
know. That's the
Definitely.
best way to reach the crowd, like you were talking about earlier, being real with your music, which
Yeah.
relate gets the people to relate with you. That's what gets them to fall in love with you, actually. So
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I have a buddy. We have a buddy he's not a musician, but he gave, I think, the best piece of songwriting advice to me. I showed him a track years ago, and he said he liked it, but he's like, I don't know when I would play this, like in what mood I would play this track. And
Ah,
so, not that you want to cater to people, but there is a element of, yeah, I think we like writing soundtracks to, like, to just soundtracks in a way to a mood, you know, like, and kind of have an understanding of when would somebody play this song
when I
if you
wake up.
care, yeah, and if you care
See,
about
that's
people.
what I would wake. I would wake up and I'll put it on while I'm trying to get my coffee or whatever. You know, I can
Yeah.
see that.
Yeah,
Sit back, look at the paper, have it on in the background.
Right. Or
yeah,
you're taking a
Yeah,
long drive, and it's like some sort of highway and the sun's setting, and if
yeah.
that's the vibe.
So
so you're in Idaho, bro, is that what you said?
yeah, Simon, Idaho, Twin Falls, Idaho.
We
Nice.
got to
Yeah, a
come out to
couple
Idaho.
hours away from Boise.
Cool. Hell yeah.
Is there a good music scene out there?
In Boise, not where I'm at.
Not where
I
you're at.
mean, if you're like a chick that sings with an acoustic guitar and all that good stuff, sings country, you're fine. It was funny. I did
Not
a
where
battle of the bands here, and I joined it. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do
Yeah.
it, man.
Hell
I'll
yeah.
send you a track of mine later
Hell yeah.
when I
Yeah.
get back.
Please do. Please do.
And so I rocked out a whole set, all original music, just up there killing it, man. And with four big stage speakers, and some people just bring an acoustic guitar and a mic, and here I am like bringing a full band set up, and then I just up there by myself, and they're like, "Whoa!" And this Oriental couple were like, you doing this, huh? You know, you win. And no, I lost, dude. Second place to this freaking chick with a guitar singing country music, man.
Oh man.
and she grew up
So
to be Taylor Swift.
no, yeah, no shit. I'm pretty proud of how I write. I mean, I'm the same way. I speak with what's on my mind. So that's why I understand what you guys get at.
Yeah.
I don't want to waste anybody's time. So tell me about tell me yeah. Well, first of all, where can people find your product at, your music?
Um, we're everywhere you can look up the name Virtual Nobodies. Um, Instagram, Spotify, Apple Music,
Oh, awesome.
YouTube, anywhere you type in Virtual Nobodies, we will probably pop up. Um, and like Jeremiah was saying, we got a website recently, and it's got merch on there. It'll take you to an Etsy link, and it's got all the for our EP. We have 6 murals to reflect each song. So
Ooh.
those are on the t-shirts as well, and they're pretty cool.
Oh, sick, dude. We're gonna have, yeah. Send me that link, and
Definitely
I'll
will,
make
yeah,
sure
yeah.
it's on the end of this interview so that people can look
Yeah,
at
and
it.
if they go to our Instagram, that's what we probably update the most,
Yeah.
I'd say. And then the website link is up there, so for updates and whatnot. But yeah, we've got the 6-song EP out, which was a ton of fun. And we've got a 9-song thing coming, and we're working with some new people. We're a duo. And then we've also got a drummer who's just a killer funk gospel drummer. So
Oh, sweet.
you guys will hopefully see more of him. His name's Sam. And yeah, man, we're excited to play some shows. Would love to come
Gospel,
out.
huh?
Yeah, so we blend our musical incompetence with just a monster, you know,
That's all
uh
right. Hey, I love Jesus,
whole
man.
group.
I'm not gonna lie. I'll tell the world.
No, it's a fun combo though, man. It's kind of where we're
Yeah.
taking this next one of like, alternative rock and whatnot, but then you put he started this where he'd, write these rock riffs, but put disco kind of grooves behind it and that
Yeah.
blending styles as opposed to like kind of a rock riff with a straight ahead rock beat. So anyway, I
Right.
just wanted to shout out Sam because he anchors us for sure and takes us to another level. So that's our guy.
Right on. So tell me, what's the inspiration for you guys' music? What
Man,
inspires you?
I
Changes.
yeah, it definitely does change. I've I've gone through a very weird transition of music, because I didn't start really like getting into music until high school.
Okay.
And so I started off with classic rock and then went to this heavy metal thing, and then I went to reggae, and then I was like really confused on what I wanted to play, and then I just stopped playing. Um, and then I think I started getting inspired by like really simple, moody songs that, they could have been complex, but they just felt really, really good to nail that particular emotion in me, you
Give me a
know.
couple examples of a band that you're thinking of, so I can be on the same page.
There is this one brother sister duo named Angus and Julia Stone. They're from Australia. Uh, they've been around for a very long time, and I've definitely, the simplicity of some of their songs, I've definitely taken some of that and I try to replicate it in my own way, and it never came out the way I thought it was going to come out. There's this one song they have on their 2017 album. Um, the way the song starts, I try to replicate it exactly like that, and it became the riff of Just So You Know, because I didn't know what I was doing. And so I'm like, I'm gonna record it just like them. And so it just it was just, I was going from here and it just went the other way. And then I just, you develop my own style, and I developed this own
Yeah.
mood, and I that's what inspires me, like hitting the right mood for the right song.
Yeah.
Um, Otherwise I think I'm wasting my own time.
Do you have some songs that you're struggling with right now that you're
Um,
still struggling with, trying to get that right sound down?
Sometimes I'll send it to him and I'll be like, "Well, what do you think about this?" A lot of times he likes it, and sometimes he's like, "I don't know if I'm really feeling it." So we kind of go back and forth with that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, you can't win on every track,
Right. What do you?
I got some that I have set aside in another folder, like for a rainy day, maybe, if I
Yeah,
have
exactly.
to,
Yeah, exactly.
or
Yeah.
a bonus track, like Marilyn Manson does an extra bonus track at the end, after like 100 tracks. It was weird. You remember that when he did that? Did a
Uh,
bonus track. Marilyn Manson on one of his albums did a bonus track, and he skipped like 100 different tracks or something. It was like the 100th track, an extra bonus, and it wasn't even a real song. It was like, you
spoken
jerk,
word.
Brian, you bastard, you. Anyways, that's yeah, that's anyway. But what would you guys like to say to your fans? How about you, Jeremiah?
Uh, well, hey, we just love to make new fans. I mean, meet new friends too. I mean, even talking to you, I think that's been the most fun thing for X and I when we've played shows and been out is, there's been nights where we're playing somewhere. It's like one night some drunk dude came up to us and he's like, I feel like a virtual nobody. And like, we were about to begin some therapy session. So
I
like,
do.
I don't know, man. I think we just want to keep upping our game. There's a lot going on out there musically, which is really cool. There's a lot that isn't really cool. So we're
Yeah.
trying to keep ourselves to like we troll people pretty hard. Uh like other musicians and people put or bands that we even are or were inspired by that have kind of petered out and we're no longer so interested in.
Yeah.
So kind of I'd say we're just trying to we're enthusiasts, we're passionate about it. It's not about us. We're trying to create a world between the art and the sound that is just intriguing. Something where you
Yeah.
stumble across it like people do on Instagram, on Spotify, and you're like, oh shit, I like that song. And then you see the next one and you're like, that's also good. Like that's those are hard to find. And so, you
Yeah.
know, we all live once, we get this one rodeo. So I think while X and I talk constantly and we're constantly investing our time and energy, it's not like a side project. It is like we do everything else just to be able to focus on creating. And it's a wonderful season. So if people give our music a chance to check it out, we'd love to hear what they think, and
Oh yeah.
love to even more so meet them in person at shows. I mean, just that community that music brings together is the best part, you know?
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So, do you enjoy writing the music or doing shows better?
I think kind of both. I will say the good thing
Yeah.
about shows, which maybe is
I
where
didn't say you could pick both.
oh, sorry, my bad. I want to say this. I'd say not a lot of people play shows.
Yeah.
Or if they do, they'll play to like a, backing track. It's like glorified karaoke. And so the writing is fun, but we've written stuff that playing live really crushes. Like when you play live, it really exposes, can the song lift a room? You might have written it on your computer
Yeah.
or sitting there together, but when it's in front of an audience and on instruments, it either has way more power than you thought or much less. So it's kind of I'd say playing live is a part of the writing process and maybe the ultimate
The
sort
ultimate
of
test.
refining
Yeah.
test of like, ooh, I'm excited to get in front of people and play
Yeah.
this one. And others that we thought would have hit way harder don't. And that's so yeah, they kind of tie in, but we
What's a
like playing.
track? What's a track, Jeremiah, that you did that really lifts up a crowd? That you get good vibes from the crowd, and a good feeling in yourself too because of it.
Yeah, there's a song called Circus Zoo that was one X had written, and it's a two-chord song, but we really spent a lot of time building up the sonic landscape and surprisingly intricate. We layered it really well. We took inspiration from bands like M83 and just some real hazy enveloping tones, and it was hard to play. Like it took us time to kind of find it. And now
Mm.
whenever we play that one live, and it's got this perfect blend of melancholy and anthem. And I'd say, yeah, whenever we play that one live, it just hits. Like
Yeah.
it's so hard. And that's where there's so much power. And like I'm so lucky to partner with X because I've been very overcomplicated when it comes to music. And I see how much like he just cuts right to the chase of what matters. Like flicking hitting your knee to get
Yeah,
the knee
yeah.
jerk reaction. And that song to me is like the ultimate testament to that. It's just but it took work.
Yeah.
It really
Yeah, yeah.
took work for sure. But that one, like people generally really resonate with it. And
Huh.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Wonderful, wonderful. I gotta check that out.
Circus Zoo,
I don't
that
think
one
I
is
heard
called.
that one, so I have to
Mhm.
have you send me that MP3.
You
So
got him.
yeah, yeah. What was one of the highlights of your career so far? Like someone that you played with, opening for the Cure or whatever.
Right. For
You
are you
guys,
talking about shows or just in
yeah,
general?
yeah, a show that you've probably
Hmm.
opened up for a band that you kind of really looked up to.
We're getting there. We all
Highlight.
we almost opened up for Dog Star, Keanu Reeves band up at the Ventura Music Hall.
Yeah, that
Ah,
that would
That
have
was
that would have been fun.
we were on the bill verbally, and then it fell through. So we're there, man. We're chomping at the
okay,
bit
you
again.
get
We
you're
got
getting there then. All right,
Yeah.
yeah, we got 6 months of shows under our belts. If I could
that's awesome.
I would say shows wise, we haven't played with too many people that are like, but we are this gentleman, should I share about Alan?
Yeah. Yeah.
This gentleman, Alan Parker, who works with Dan Auerbach at the Black Keys. He just mixed their latest
Yeah,
album.
yeah.
He's working on one of the songs from our upcoming album right now, and if that all goes smooth, we're hoping to do more with him, and he's so we're pretty excited about that. I mean, someone just of that caliber and
Yeah,
the class
that's
of people he's
amazing.
hanging around, and he was interested in
See?
working with us, so that's kind of the exciting one on the plate
Yeah.
at the moment.
Definitely.
That's awesome. And
Yeah.
so, you have much support with you have all kinds of support from your family, right? And
Yeah. It's
yeah,
funny. I
what's
was
up?
just talking about this to somebody the other day that my family, because they live out here, um, they didn't really take me seriously until he started working with me. And then all of a sudden they became so invested.
That's awesome.
Because I was doing my solo thing, right? But as soon as
Yeah.
Jeremiah joined, it's like, whoa, you working with him?
Oh, how
So,
funny.
so now they're taking me seriously. Now I have a lot
I
of
see how they are.
but I get it because it's a cool sound, so I get it.
No one's
It
harsh
is.
on your family,
Yeah,
though,
it's-
man.
yeah, seriously.
Prophet's not welcome in their hometown or whatever. They're like, there's something
That's
to it.
awesome.
So,
If
no,
you
we got a
guys,
great supportive friends and family, man. Everyone's great.
wonderful. Would you guys, if you guys didn't have this going for you, what would you like to choose as a career choice?
Come on. Well, I guess you could say that my career right now is I work in tech. I work at this company called Teledyne.
Yeah, yeah.
It's an aerospace.
Shout out Teledyne.
Shout out Teledyne. Uh,
Sponsorship.
I work at an aerospace company, so I think I'll just be there,
Right on. Doing
longing,
what you're doing, anyways, huh? Doing what you
yeah,
like. You enjoy that
longing to
job?
make music if I couldn't,
Yeah, yeah. I break up rocks for mines. I crush it, pulverize it, so they can do analysis on it,
Yeah,
find
hell
out how much gold's in it and all that.
yeah.
That's
Yeah,
super.
that's what I do. It's kind of weird. What do you
That's
do,
sick.
Jeremiah?
Yeah, man. I'm actually in grad school for clinical psych, and
Wow.
I run a production company with some friends, and we do all sorts of stuff from music videos to corporate events, and I kind of head up the audio music sector of that. So
Good for
yeah,
you.
we're kind of just entrepreneurial across the board, but
That's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
Good for you guys, man. I really appreciate you guys being here today, and it's you guys are, like I said, really unique, really wonderful guys. Yeah, I mean, you guys
you,
were
man.
pleasant to talk with. Actually, really, really nice, down to earth, and I appreciate that.
Thank
And I
you.
hope you guys continue doing what you're doing humbly, and continue to pour from your heart, your music. And I hope so. I hope for the best for you, man.
Thank
That's all
you,
I can
man.
really
Appreciate
say.
it.
You guys are
Yeah.
still babes at this, but what? Well, you guys got a long way to go, but I believe in you. So,
Thank you.
and
Appreciate it.
I
Thank
know
you
you
for saying
guys
that.
got wonderful structure in your tracks, and so far for what I've heard, I mean, I need to hear more. I mean, I want to hear more.
Can we
So
do this again when the album comes out, or when
you
we start
bet you
releasing
can.
stuff?
You're
Dude,
always welcome on my show.
and we
All you
love
have to
the
do is
spirit of
just
what
message
you're doing,
me.
man.
You get it out, and we'll talk about each track. Yeah, I mean, we won't do questions like I just did. We'll just basically talking about your album, who produced
Cool.
this and this and that, and every track we'll talk in detail about it.
Cool.
And tell a story about it, and get it promoted. All right,
That's
I
great,
pre-
man.
right
Thank
on,
you, man.
man. We'll see
We
what we're
appreciate
down to
you.
our time right now, but I do thank you again and wish you much success.
Thanks, dude.
Likewise, brother.
Bless
Thank you
you
again for
guys.
having me.
Good
You
talking
know
to you,
it,
man.
man. We have Virtual Nobodies, guys, on the Rooster Show. Thank you. More rock, less cock here on the Rooster Show. Take care, guys. You know it.
Yeah, man. Later, bro. Good to
You
meet
know,
you.
pleasure to meet you both.
feeling hit the best when I'm low. Sitting on my phone, I'll wait for your call to tell you that I'm deep in the palm of your claw.